I'm Emily.
And I'm Gianna.
And this is Booked Up Babes.
Woo!
Hi guys. Hi.
I'm drinking out of a very fancy cup.
They are. They're from me getting married.
Yes.
Perks getting married. Nice glassware for people.
Fancy things. That we then use for podcasts.
Yes.
But hey everybody, welcome back.
Welcome. This week we are reading Powerless.
Yes, by Lauren Roberts.
Yeah.
This is her debut novel, and I gotta say,
Out of the damn park.
I was obsessed with this book.
It is so good.
Like, I could not put it down.
Yeah, no, it was, we both audiobooked it.
If you haven't read this book, read it.
Yeah.
But also audiobook it, because the man who voices Kai is...
It is top quality.
Oh my goodness.
Top notch.
I would love to know what he looks like.
You know what? I've started following audiobook people on Instagram.
And they never show their faces.
Oh, no,
they do?
I follow a few who definitely show their face. And I'm like, oh, that's what you look like and that's your voice. Interesting.
Because I'm like, I feel like he has to be attractive, but there are people whose voices I've heard on audiobooks that I'm like, that's a nice voice. But then some of them you can see.
Yeah.
And then I'll see them and I'll be like, oh, not
what I pictured.
Expecting. Not that you're any less beautiful, but you're not for me.
Well, did you see the really gorgeous man that helped Rebecca Yarros announce her next book?
No.
Oh, he's gorgeous.
I didn't see him. All I saw was her.
Oh yeah, no, the guy who does the voiceover, the Taryn voiceover for her new book release.
He's attractive?
Yeah, he's this gorgeous black man.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I just didn't think that he was attractive.
Taryn.
I guess I didn't think he was attractive because I don't know I never knew what he looked like, but his voice is so scary.
Yeah, no,
that I was just like, oh, you must not be that hot.
No, he's like a really good looking guy.
Oh my.
I mean, I'll show you later. Yeah, he's good looking. I you know what? Unfortunately, I can't give a proper shout out though because I never know people's Instagram handles. I'm the worst about that. I'll be like, you know that one account where she dresses up like it's 2003? And I'm like, well, I don't know.
But this is the thing. I know exactly who you're talking about. I know exactly who Emily's talking about. That's the thing.
Yeah, she's always like doing those like, remember like when high school, like how you acted in high school videos? Yeah, but I couldn't tell you the name of her handle.
Yeah, so we don't know his name, but it's fine.
No, but there's sometimes, it's just interesting.
Yeah, so whoever, I
do not know who did it.
The name of whoever did Kai, but wow.
Yeah.
So you should audiobook this. If you have Spotify, you can listen to it on Spotify. That's how I listen to it. Make sure that you're not on shuffle though.
That's hilarious.
Because I went from chapter 7 to chapter 52 and I was like, what in the same hell is going on? I was just like, what's happening? Where am I? I was at the part, I was like chapter 7.
Chapter 52 is like legit. I like tagged in my audiobook chapter 52 like 3 times.
I think that's the chapter where she like goes into his room and has a nightmare.
I think you're right.
And I was like, what is happening?
Oh my god, you poor soul.
I literally was like, I don't know what's going on. And then I looked quick enough and I was like, no, this is not where I'm supposed to be. Oh, I gotta go back.
Noted. Spotify audiobooks will shuffle.
So don't do that.
Yeah.
But it's freer than Audible.
Yeah.
If you don't have any credits.
It's freer than Audible. You know, that is the world we live in now.
It's freer than Audible.
But
yeah, so we read this book and like we absolutely devoured it.
We both like finished it like within the same couple days.
Yeah.
And we were texting about it like nonstop and we're like, whoa.
Yeah. And like for a first novel, like you can tell it's a first book with the writing and everything. But and what's crazy is I actually saw this girl today on TikTok who I really like her book recommendations. I really like her book recommendations. Like she has not led me astray. And she DNF'd this.
Oh.
Right? Because there are some people, there's a mass majority of people like this book.
Yeah.
But there are people who are like, what even happens in this book? How are you guys even recommending this? What is the point? And that's what she was saying. And I think, like, I can't not see where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Like, I can see kind of, because it was exciting and it was fun, but it wasn't unique. But it was, like...
For me, it was the characters.
I was like, the characters in it, though, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
I'm here for them. Because, like, was it a unique plot? No.
No. It was like Hunger Games meets Psych is what we decided.
Yeah.
With a little bit of Star Wars energy.
Yes. And, like, I still enjoyed it immensely.
Yeah.
I gave this 5 stars. We both gave this 5 stars. So
super fun read.
I was like, and of course, like, 5 stars aren't always about how good of the writing is. It's about, did you have fun? Did you enjoy it? And I'm like, I had the best time ever at 5 stars.
I think in our world, it's not always about, like, quality of writing. It's about, like, my enjoyment of character development and, like, story.
Yeah.
Because it's not like we're reading, you know, War and Peace or
the Crime and Punishment.
Crime and Punishment. Yeah, those are the only, like, smart people books I can think of.
I do want to read Crime and Punishment, but...
One day. We're going to read these books one day.
But not
you know, like, we're not reading classics. We're reading new fantasy, romantasy books. So, like, you know, sometimes you're going to get...
I mean, you could put...
You're going to get what you're going to get. Yeah. No. But it's fun as shit.
Oh my God. The best. So much fun.
Yeah. And... Well, while she's taking a sip of her drink, we will also talk about the cocktail I made.
Emily absolutely crushed it with this cocktail. Like, we were not sure.
We were so unsure of this.
But if there's one thing that I'm sure of, it's Emily.
I'm not always sure of myself, so I go to Gianna.
That's why she has me. This is so good. It's such a good drink.
We were very shocked by it. It's like a hot toddy, but with butterscotch. So I did butterscotch schnapps, whiskey, and hot water.
Mm-hmm.
And we crushed up some butterscotch. Where there's originals.
Where there's originals, if you wanted to be specific.
Crush them up and put them on the rim and put one in it, and it's so good. And we're calling it the Darling.
Yes.
Because he calls her Darling a fuck.
Like probably every other word out of his mouth is darling. Which I don't mind. It did get repetitive, but I ate that shit up.
It was like good and also slightly annoying.
But when you hear him say it...
Oh, the way he's...
It's like when he says it. Like, this is why you have to listen to the audiobook.
This is what you have to do with the audiobook.
Do both, okay? Just do both. Read so you can, like, highlight.
Yeah, because I didn't do that. Now I regret it.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I got on my Kindle, I got all of them.
Yeah.
But also, I audiobooked whenever I couldn't read. Like, if I was in the car or I was on a walk, I'm like, audiobook.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was home, I was reading with the audiobook.
I love reading with an audiobook. That's how I did Crescent City too.
Yeah, you did.
And I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It's like just, I don't know, there's something about that reading with the audio that's really fun.
Yeah. What I really liked about this audiobook is that there's a man and a woman.
Yes, I do. I appreciate when the narrator changes based on male or female.
Like, I like that she had 2 people narrating this, like a guy and a girl.
It is a dual perspective, so it needed that.
Yes, yeah. But like sometimes you do have people who, like a guy who's like doing both, and I'm like,
I hate when the man does the woman's voice. That's okay, do.
I'm like, this just ain't hitting.
You know what though? I've been audiobooking all these books, the Bridgerton books, which almost done with Francesca's.
Oh,
I know.
We haven't talked about this.
By the way, audiobooks of Bridgerton are incredible. Oh yeah, we'll talk.
Oh my God, guys, Francesca's story.
It's so good. So I just finished it today, but it's like just a woman. It's what's her name? That does the audiobook for it. Well, I can never think of it when I need to. But she does really good male voices. For because normally when women do men voices, I'm like, but hers are good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't do any of the audiobooks for them.
Oh no, it's really fun. I've only audiobook Bridgerton.
Oh, I've read that shit.
It's good. Bridgerton books, if you haven't, obviously who isn't a fan of the show, everyone's a fan of the show. But if you haven't read the books are super fucking fun.
They're very fun.
Yeah.
I am a huge Francesca book girl.
That's her
Oh
book,
my
for sure.
God.
Yeah. It's a good one.
It's so good.
It's really good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And I think it's him. I have a thing for guys like that who are just like, it's like the suaveness of them. Like, they're unflappable.
Yeah.
The only thing that really flaps them is the girl they're interested in.
That's literally that's his character in a nutshell.
It's like everything else is just like whatever. But then like her. And you want who's like that?
Kai is also like that.
He's like, yeah. So
let's talk about Kai.
There are characters, and we've talked about this before. You know, people will say Rhysand is morally gray, and he's not. From A Court of Thorns and Roses, like,
no.
He is not morally gray. Like, he does not like hurting people unless they hurt like the people around him.
Yeah.
He is always doing something for good, for his people, to become a better being. And not to say that Kai is like a bad guy, but like there's like parts in this book where he was just like, I just did some killing for the sake of killing. I'm really, really sad that he died because now I don't have anybody to torture.
He is one of the best morally gray. Like, he's the most gray of the grays. Like,
yeah.
Because I read those, like, that Hooked book by Emily McIntyre.
Yeah.
And that book, that man is not gray.
He's just evil.
He's just like, yeah. There's nothing gray about this man. But this is genuinely gray.
Absolutely.
Like, he is very nuanced.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what sucked me into this book was the fact that it was like these characters were so interesting to me.
Yeah.
Like, she's powerless, and she'll tell you. And you could make it a drinking game because she'll tell you.
She will say
she's powerless. And he's also powerless, and there's like a bit of a like historically, like the Cinderella story, like the original Cinderella story is based on the fact that Cinderella and the prince connect on the fact that they have no power over their own lives.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, obviously, like, Disney cleaned it up a bit,
what
but like, in the original story of Cinderella, the prince connects with her because she feels trapped in her life and he feels trapped in his. And they connect over the fact that they feel stuck and powerless. So I think in this way, this book is very similar, in the sense that like what they connect on is that even though they are completely different worlds and different people, they connect on the fact that they have the same struggle within the worlds they're stuck in.
Yeah, and so, but what's crazy is that like, it's like Kai only gets a sliver of that understanding. Like, so, like, he only thinks that she's powerless in the sense that, like, she's poor. Like, look where she grew up, like, all that stuff.
He doesn't realize how powerless.
He doesn't even realize how powerless she actually is. Whereas, like, she's getting every true aspect of him. Like, every single truth about him she's getting. Yeah. And she sees, like, clear as day that he has absolutely no power over his own life.
Yeah, and, like, when he, as the enforcer, he's required to kill.
Exactly.
And he's not choosing who to kill. He's not, and that's where, like, he's numb to killing. And I think that's what makes him gray.
Yeah. I mean, because then you have, like, right in the beginning of the book, right before they meet, you've got him going to someone's house. He's supposed to kill everybody. He's supposed to kill the child. Or not kill everybody. He's supposed to banish the family and kill the kid.
Yep.
And he spares her and gives the child to the family. I mean,
and then banishes them.
They do die out there.
I'm sure they do.
But he doesn't kill her. And I'm like, oh, wow. So, like, there's some good. And then there's, like, moments where he's like, I think a chapter literally starts off with him being like, basically, like, just got done with my torturing for the day. Sadie's dead. Now I have no one to torture. And I'm just like, all right.
Nobody kills the silencer.
Yeah. I was like,
which, I mean, in his defense, that guy did, like, torture him in a public setting.
Yes, but still, I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, you're definitely, I think that he's definitely morally gray. Like, I think he's there. He is the definition of that.
Yeah, for sure.
I loved him.
Oh my gosh.
I absolutely loved him.
His deep obsession with her is so good.
We eat that up.
Like, when she goes, what's your favorite color? And then he starts going through, like,
every color blue.
Every kind of shade of blue because her eyes are blue. And then he just says the word blue. And she's like, okay. He's like, what's yours? She goes, I don't know. I don't have one.
Oh, yeah. She's like, like completely oblivious to the absolute, utter, like,
turmoil.
Beautiful, descriptive thoughts that he's having about her eyes.
Her eyes.
And I'm like, Kai, is there the man that you are?
I know. He's so...
Me and Emily were talking about this book like an hour ago when I got to her house. We're talking about Kai, and I literally, as I'm talking about him, I take my book and I just...
She tries to bite her butt. She's like, ah! Because, like, literally there's something about him. Like, Lauren, hats off to you, my girl. You wrote a character that, like, ooh.
And, like...
It's good. He's a good character.
You have somehow gotten masses of people obsessed with this book, and they don't even kiss.
They, like, what, they peck?
They don't
Barely?
kiss. Their lips, like, graze.
They graze in the rain.
Yeah. Like cows.
Yeah.
In the pasture.
You did grazing lips to grazing cows. I'm just here for it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, it's insane because they have all these touching moments. Like he comes, like when they're like doing an archery competition.
They touch all the time.
They constantly touch.
They are constantly touching each other. He's always got his finger under her chin.
Yep.
Those got daggers at each other's throats.
Yeah.
Like, they're always touching.
The archery part is really good though. It's a really good one, you know? Like he's like gets in behind her and like and she like grazes his arm with her finger. I'm like, get out of here, you guys.
Lauren, you have mastered sexual tension.
This whole book was like sexual tension with zero release.
Like, I was like, you know how when you're reading a book, I think we talked about this in our last episode too, or an episode, and like you will stay up until 4 a.m. just to get to like them like brushing pinkies.
Oh my god, yeah.
Or like you finally get to the kiss. That was this book. It's like you were waiting up until 4 a.m. The entire book.
The whole book.
And then it never came.
No.
And you were just like, oh my god, and you just needed more. You were like, wait, they don't even kiss, and I feel that much for these two characters.
No, this book is blue balls.
Oh my god. Emily, Lauren, you gave us blue balls.
This is a blue ball book for sure.
I know what it's like to be a guy.
I know, right? You felt like you're like, no.
Oh my god, that is so accurate.
Yeah, maybe that's what we should start calling books that like give you all the sexual tension.
Blue balls.
Blue balls. It's a blue ball
I've
book.
never read a book like this though. Like,
no, I've never read a book where they don't kiss.
I've never read a book where there was that like this much tension
and like open flirting.
Yeah, and I mean, I could. I'm sure there's plenty of other books out there. I mean, this is YA, so.
Oh, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Realize that. Okay.
But even in YA, you'll still get a kiss or something. So I know that there's probably other books out there that somebody could probably tell me about that I'm not aware of that are just like this. But I have yet to read a book, even a YA book, where you don't have a kiss.
Yeah.
Like with this much tension.
Well, because I'm a huge YA fan.
I love YA.
Everybody
hates on YA, and like some of the best stories, because it's like you're also getting more of a story.
Yes, because a lot of YA books are like a coming of age book as well, so you get a lot of character development in a very quick time. Because as a teenager or as a young adult, you grow. Crazy fast. So what makes I think YA books so fun and enticing is the fact that like there's so much growth in that time in your life.
Yeah.
And so much learning that there's a lot to like write about in that genre.
Yeah.
And so it is interesting though, because as somebody who's read more high school romance books than I can count. I love a good high school romance book. Yeah. They're already in proximity with each other. They're stuck in like class together or whatever. I don't know. It makes it more fun. They always kiss though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was definitely like,
it's crazy.
This was like a first for me to have that much going down.
I mean, there's another book, and I'm like, they better fucking kiss
I
within the
will
first
say-
200 pages. Please.
I will say, well,
I'm giving her 200 pages. 200 pages, Lauren. That's
This-
what you get.
I don't know, Lauren. You can give us a few more pages, and this is why. Look at how this book ended.
Oh, the ending of this book's incredible.
I think this book is amazing. We'll get to it. But, like, I don't know if in the second book, how long we'll have to... I know that we won't have to wait because Lauren has been teasing. If you follow her on any social stuff, she has teased a few things. And they are together at one point, and he is saying things to her that someone who hates her should probably not be saying. So, like, I know that we get it, but it's just a matter of, like, when.
When. Yeah.
But, yeah. So, I mean, he was, like, obsessed with her from the start.
From the very beginning. Well, and also I would think that, like, in, like, contrast to Kit, he has more of a real versus, like, he has more real interactions with her.
Kit doesn't have really...
No.
This is the thing. Actually, they kind of do. They kind of do have real interactions.
No, Kit and her have real interactions. I'm just saying her and Kai, I think, have more of it.
Yeah.
And I think he knows her in a way that I think Kit never gets to know her.
Agreed.
And so I think he won't hold on to the hate and the anger the way Kit will. He will hold on to it. That's my theory.
Yeah.
But I think he will eventually come around in a way that Kit will never come around.
Oh, yeah.
And Kit will become the ultimate villain.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Like, I feel like this book was Kit's villain arc. Like, this is how Kit became a villain.
Yes, I do think that it's kind of interesting because, like, throughout the entire book, you would have never thought that he would so quickly. Mm-hmm. I mean, granted, how else would you react to finding out that someone has been lying to you, isn't ordinary, killed your father, now you're king, which you weren't ready to be like. I mean, I can absolutely sympathize.
Well, also, I think, in that moment also puts together that she stole his keys to get into the tunnel.
That's what I mean. Like, he feels
like,
so utterly betrayed.
Yeah.
She kills his dad, who he has
a good relationship
with.
Yeah.
Whereas, like,
Kai doesn't.
Kai does not.
Yeah.
So, like, Kai already has this, like, understanding of how, like, things happen, whereas, like, Kit is very sheltered.
Yeah.
And this is, like, all very, like, gasp. And Kai is, like, gasp, but, like, you know, like, he also, I don't know, I want to say he's not upset that his dad died, but, it's not affecting him the way that it affects Kit.
No, not at all. Well, and when you're the oldest and you're going to be king, you're going to get, like, he has a much different childhood than Kai and a more pampered one. And Kai was the one that was sent out to murder people, and Kit was the one being primed to be king. So they have much different personalities even to begin with, experiences with their father. Mm-hmm. They have, but the thing that I think will be interesting is that, like, Jax and Kai have a more intimate personal relationship. I think, in my opinion, Kit, I think, had always had a surface level relationship with her. But, like, they went through, like, they have trauma bonding.
Yes.
And trauma bonding connects people. So for like Jax and Kai, they're going to be, like, getting over it a lot quicker. And they're not the favorited. And they're not, like, as put on a pedestal and all that. And so, like, also, Jax isn't blood, right? They, like, adopted him.
Yeah, so Kit is the only one who's... No.
Kai and Kit are 100% related.
Yeah, I think they're half-brothers.
Oh, they have different moms, right?
Yeah, different moms, yeah. Kit...
Because they do have different... Because Kit is blonde with green eyes. And
Kit's
Kai
mom
has
was the
blue
first
eyes. Or gray eyes.
Kit's mom was the first queen, and then...
Kai's mom is the
current queen.
Yeah.
So,
but Jax is adopted.
But Jax is adopted. They, like, found him, like, a street rat or something.
Which is adorable.
Love it. They, like, just took him in.
Yeah. But I think there will be a lot more empathy from those two characters in the next book than there will be. Like, Kit obviously is the villain.
Oh, yeah.
We got his Corella arc, you know? Like, we got, like, why he's the villain he is.
Did you ever see that movie?
I never actually
With
watched.
Emma Stone.
I really want to see that movie.
It was actually fantastic.
Okay, you know what? That's one of those movies Greg will never watch with me. I just need to sit down and watch it.
We have to watch that and Maleficent. Like,
yes.
The way that those two movies put such a perspective on
a villain.
was wonderful.
Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful. I loved it. You gotta watch him.
And to me, Powerless is Kit's villain arc. Like how, like where he wasn't a bad guy.
No.
But how does he become the villain he is?
And what's so sad is that he really was listening to her.
Oh my God. She was like, hey, like you should really know your people. You should go into the slums. You should really, and he was like, oh my God, you're right. Like he was
trying.
He is a really nice guy, and he just got betrayed. And he's gonna become like
by a girl that he was like, I think I love, and I'm like, you don't know.
You
her,
don't know her, yeah.
It's fine.
Your brother actually has more of a relationship with her, and is too nice of a person and respects you too much to say anything or to like get in the way of you having an opportunity with her.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
which I don't know how anybody else felt about this. I did not dig the both brothers being into it. I don't like that.
You don't like a Steph and Damon energy?
I feel like Stefan and Damon were the blueprint, and they were enough.
They were, okay, you have to, if you're going to do Stefan and Damon, you have to do it better.
They were the blueprint.
Yeah.
And I feel like I got more than enough of that love triangle there. And I wouldn't even say that this was a love triangle.
No, because she's never into Kit.
She's never into Kit. Kit and Kai never go, like, they never butt heads about her. Like, they actually very much spend time with her and not talk about it with each other. Like, like, the only time is when Kit is like, I think that she's incredibly interesting and she's teaching me things and all stuff. And Kai's like, well, yeah, because she's the best person ever.
No, and the only way you really know that they have any issue with it is that like Kai gets really jealous and gets drunk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, I wouldn't even say it's like a love triangle because there's really no triangle. It's just like, I don't know.
It's nothing because
it's like a Love Island.
But what's weird is that Kit is actively pursuing her the whole book, but the seers are capturing her and Kai being wildly romantic with each other during these trials.
So I'm like, Kai, I mean, Kit, you see this, right? Like, Kit, it's happening on screen in front of you.
Do you see what I see? It wouldn't be a podcast here if we didn't sing for you.
Exactly. We are nothing if not consistent.
Booked up singers. It is weird to me that he continues to, like, I'm shocked. This is a story part that I thought was weird, that he never goes up to Kai and is like, yo, like, I just watched you and her, like, have all these romantic moments. Because everyone's watching it like it's television. I
feel like Kit feels like he doesn't have the right to, because Kai literally, before she comes, because as we know, she saves Kai's
butt.
Life. Yeah. Saves Kai's butt. And then she gets chosen for like these trials essentially to become like a champion or whatever. But before this list gets announced, it comes out that like the Silver Savior saved the Enforcer, yada yada yada. And Kit is like, they're training, and Kit is like kind of like busting his balls, and he's just like, oh, and Kai's like, I don't know why it matters, like, I'll never see her again. But he like is obviously showing an interest in Payton. So Kit knows that Kai feels a certain way.
This is where Kit ain't shit, in my opinion.
And I'm just like, but you pursued her anyways.
Yeah, because he does, and he hints at it again, I think, that he's like, I feel like there's another, maybe it's just that. Maybe it's still at that time.
No, there's another part. Like very early on when she first gets there, where like Kit like is still busting Kai's balls. Yeah. And I'm like, but then you pursue her?
Yeah, and that's where I don't understand it. Because I'm like, but you know your brother's in, but that to me that screams, I'm entitled because I'm gonna be the king, so I can pursue, even if you like her, I can pursue her. And that's where I think like that underlining like not a super morally great person will come to the surface, because there is a level of like, when you are that spoiled and that entitled, even if you're kind of a nice person or more, you know, like he is a nice guy, but nice guys can also be giant douchebags or have a bad side to them. And so I think he has all the like, especially perception of being nice.
Especially nice guys who are so privileged. You can be a nice guy and be privileged.
Yeah.
But then like,
Recognize your privilege.
Recognize your privilege.
Yeah.
So, and I think that Kit is a really nice guy, but he's so privileged.
Yeah.
That he's just like...
He's like, oh no, but I know you're into her, but she's mine.
Smoke screen in front of his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you want.
Exactly. And Kai never... I think he makes like one snide comment where he's like, oh, shouldn't you be like with my brother or something?
Mm-hmm.
And that's like where he really slips up. But there was really no point in this book where Kai was not super straightforward about every single thing he was thinking and feeling.
No.
I literally loved that about him.
He's emotionally transparent.
He was just like, like towards the end where he I don't even say finally, because he was saying things to her the whole time. He was showing up, acting them out, saying them. But at the end where he was just like, I want you.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I don't really care about anything else. I want you. I want us to be together.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? And I'm like, girl, where
Girl,
you
what?
been?
Girl, what?
Get your head out your ass.
You also want it.
Exactly. So it's like the emotional intelligence of Kai is so hot.
It's really hot. Well, okay, so I'm gonna get on a soapbox for a second.
Do it.
Okay.
Get up there, girl.
Did you watch My Life with the Walter Boys?
No.
Okay.
I did watch, and I do watch The Summer I Turned Pretty. I feel like they're pretty much the same thing.
Very similar. Read both books, to be honest. I read My Life with the Walter Boys years ago. But in that, obviously, brother love triangle, just like Summer I Turned Pretty. I have a qualm with this nice guy thing. Because in these books, in both stories, they go with the nice guy first, right? The guy that they're not going to end up with, obviously. But they go with the nice guy first. And the nice guy uses his nice guy tactics to manipulate her into thinking that they have more oh no, you have to be with me. Both Jeremiah, and I think it's Alex, do it in both books. I have this thing.
Okay.
The guys who present as nice guys sometimes are the sneakiest motherfuckers.
I would agree with that.
People who present aggressively as nice guys normally are the ones that are using their nice guy tactics to manipulate you and make you feel like you're going crazy. Because you're like, wait, but that doesn't I kind of feel like he's being possessive, or I kind of feel like he's controlling me.
Well, I mean, I think
and then you're like, oh wait, but he's a nice guy. So, and then you ignore it.
Oh.
Whereas with guys who are like kind of douchey and upfront about it and da-da-da-da, but then also like, but I got fucking feelings for you. They're never hiding who they are.
No.
I have this, and I'm like, it's like,
I think that this might be a universal theory.
Yeah, no, it goes across all things, but these two storylines are very clear because they have a brother who's like, sleeps around, and then they have the brother who's the nice guy, and he's a little nerdier, and like she goes with the nice guy first, and then realizes like the guy she has chemistry with.
I will disagree about that with Conrad.
No, I fucking love Conrad though.
Because Conrad is such a little douche, and I love him so much. And Jeremiah he's a slut.
Oh, Jeremiah's yeah.
And we're getting so off topic, but
no.
Jeremiah only liked Belly
because Conrad
liked Belly.
No, but this is it. But he presents as a nice guy.
Disgusting.
He presents as a nice guy, and then he I don't like. There's, and I think there's like a similar thing with Kit and Kai here. Is that like Kit's like very presentational, nice guy.
Yes, but this is the thing about Kit. I don't think that he was doing that.
Nice guys don't finish last. They finish with manipulation.
You heard it here first, folks.
Just saying. It's like a really I get really upset about it. Like Stefan and Damon are the same in my opinion. Stefan's not as bad though. Stefan's actually a pretty decent person. But even then, he's the fucking ripper for a big chunk of it. He's not always a nice person. But everyone's like, oh, Stefan's the nicer one. I'm like, Stefan murders people and rips their heads off their bodies.
Like, Damon kept his cool all the time. I mean,
Damon fucks up too,
cool,
don't get me wrong.
As cool as Damon can keep things. But then you've got Stefan who's just like, I guess I'll turn off my humanity 4 times. And you're just like, don't you think that you should maybe go to therapy?
How's one brother nicer than the other? Fuck off. He's not a nice guy. I can't with the nice guy thing. There's no nice guys. Everyone sucks. I'm kidding.
Except your husband and my husband.
Yeah. But you know what?
You
know why I married my husband? Because he came out and was like, this is who I am.
I mean, yeah, Julian does not hold back when he does something. And I'm like, great, thank you.
Great. I'd rather
this
that.
does hurt. But I would rather you be honest and hurt me.
Yeah.
So instead of lie to my face.
Yeah.
And just be nice. The entire time that we've talked about nice guys, that exact phrase has been going through my head. Nice guys finish last. And I think it's such bull.
I think it's bullshit. I think it's a tactic to make you feel bad for them and to give them more of a chance than they deserve.
Yeah.
They're still guys. And they're still gonna do their guy shit.
They're still men.
I know. So that drives me absolutely bonkers. And I think this story is a clear sign of it, right? Because the nice guy technically would be Kit, and he ends on his villain arc. And he's not like a genuinely nice, like as we just said, he knows his brother has a thing for her.
Mm-hmm.
And he continues to pursue her regardless. That's not a nice person.
No. That's a privileged person who has had everything handed to him and doesn't understand that you can't have everything that you want.
Yeah.
Which it's also, I mean, Kit is also like, the fact that he will say to Kai's face that he hates, that he can't do what Kai does. And Kai's like, are you actually kidding me? He's like,
isn't that nuts?
You do not want my life.
No.
And I'm just like, your brother kills people. He started when he was like 14. They sent him out on his first mission when he was 14. Like, and I'm like, and you have the audacity to say to him, like, being royal is hard. I wish I could kill people like you. I wish I could be an enforcer. And Kai's like, I would do anything to not be me.
I know. It's so, oh my God, that whole thing of him, when he says that to him, I'm like, do you know the lives you've been destined for? Like, do you understand? Like, yeah, I get it. Probably being royal sucks. Prince Harry will tell you all about it. But like,
you can read it in his book.
I'm sure there's a lot of shittiness that goes along with like being born into something you didn't choose. But Kai was born into murdering people.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. If I had to choose sitting on a throne or murdering people, I think I would choose the throne one.
I would choose the throne.
So, oh God, just...
Yeah, no. So yeah, I mean, definitely very excited to see Kit's character in the next book. Like, so excited.
It's gonna be good.
I'm very, very excited.
I'm really excited for that too.
Yeah. I think we're gonna learn a lot about him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I know that Kai and Peyton, obviously, in the next book, they get together. Because from what Lauren is teased, like, that happens.
There's, like, there's no way to win it.
So I'm like, oh, like, Kit is about to become, like, who can we compare what Kit is about to become to? Like, Darth Vader or some shit.
Ooh, it is a bit Darth Vader.
I feel like he's about to become, like, Darth Vader.
Oh, I like that.
And this kind of has, there's nuances of like some other like Star Wars. I feel like Star Wars is in here, like you get a little bit of the Hunger Games, like, you know, some like nuanced things in there. And I feel like because it's one thing to have this girl that you love, quote unquote, completely betray you. This random girl that you've known for such a short amount of time. You got that. Then you get like the death of your father by this girl. And then your brother might betray you
and go off with her. Oh my God, we made the same face at the same time.
Yeah, I think that might break somebody. Especially somebody who's never really known anything beyond this thing that's happening to him right now.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely insane to me. Like I do feel like Darth Vader, I think, is a really good villain to like compare that to, because when he's Anakin, he's kind of a similar character. Mm-hmm. He's a very talented, entitled kid, ends up with Padme. Look at me knowing my Star Wars. I am married to a Star Wars nut.
Wait, you've never seen Star Wars?
I've seen all of them. Are you kidding me? I've seen the TV shows.
Okay, I was like, whoa, girl.
I'm married.
We're about to have some beef.
I'm married to Gregory Tyndall. If I hadn't seen Star Wars, I don't think he would have even given me a time of day.
He probably would be like, ring on your finger? No.
Revoked.
Revoked.
Yeah, no. But how he becomes Darth Vader is very, like, in a lot of ways similar. And I'm not 100% because he does choose like the dark side, and this guy's not like there's not dark and light in this.
No, but I do think that like down that path, I feel like I'm trying to think, like, there's a very specific
because he does, like, doesn't Darth Vader choose the dark side, or Anakin chooses the dark side to save Padme?
He's enticed to the dark side by Palpatine. Look
at us go. As if we're not nerdy enough already.
I know, right? It's like,
we're really proud about this nerd muscle right now. We're like flexing it.
Exactly. But yeah, so he's like enticed by it, and I don't think Kit is enticed by it, but I do think that like the trauma or the like there is a character that I'm thinking of where like the level of betrayal that he feels from the people around him actually causes him to slip into like utter villainy, and I cannot think of who I'm thinking of, but I feel like that's what's going to happen with Kit. I feel like he's going to feel betrayed by every person that he's tried to trust.
Yep.
And
it's going to make him just more and more and more of a villain.
Like, he's going to fall into like disrepair.
Yeah, I don't think there's redemption for Kit.
No.
I think he'll just be a villain.
Yeah.
And betrayal can do that to somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I think it'll be very, very interesting.
Yeah. So we'll see. I am very excited to see where his character goes next. I'm excited to see where Kai goes next.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see let's talk about our baby girl, Peyton.
That's
my girl.
She's a good character.
Really enjoyed her character. She's
great.
So strong.
She is so fucking strong.
She just like never wavers. Not once.
She's literally a homeless person with no powers in a world where if you have no powers, they murder you. And she has found a way to survive, to pretend to be a psychic because of how like in tune she is with how everything people do and how perceptive she is. And like has literally like bit and clawed her way into survival. It's amazing.
She is, oh my god. Because you know, you get some of these, you have a lot of female main characters who are either very similar or like or annoying.
Yeah.
For a multitude of reasons. And don't get me wrong, like I read books about strong female main characters for a reason. Like the empowerment of them. But there are some characters I'm just like, oh good lord.
Yeah. Yeah.
I loved Peyton. Like when I tell you that like I don't think that there was the only times I didn't like Peyton was when she would repeat herself. And that's the author. It's like not really the character, but like she was smart, she was resourceful, she was intuitive, she was strong. She just like I loved her. Yeah. Loved her. She held her own in every single challenge.
Every time.
She was the best.
Honestly, she's one of my favorite female main characters because there wasn't anything about her where I was like, ugh. No. Even when she chooses to go join the rebellion, or the resistance, sorry. The rebellion. Star Wars.
Wait, we've said 3 things now tonight.
It's the resistance or the rebellion? What is it?
It's the
Shit, it's an R word.
I think it's the resistance.
I think it's resistance.
I think it's the resistance. But earlier, I started off by saying the revolution. And then we were like, oh no, it's the rebellion. But it's actually, resistance and rebellion.
It's all pretty much the same.
A resistance leads a rebellion that leads to a revolution. So we are on the right track.
It's all the same in my head.
So everyone just watch Les Mis.
God, good fucking musical.
Can you hear the people singing the song of angry man?
It is the music of people who will not be slaves again.
So good.
Oh, it's brilliant. But even when she joins the resistance, I'm not mad at her for it. I'm not like frustrated by it. I'm not like, oh God, now this. Like I'm like, no, it makes sense. The decision you're making makes sense. And even especially how she handles it, everything she does, I'm like, nothing about her decision is like selfish or annoying or doesn't make sense with her character. Like she's a very like steady, consistent, easy to love character.
Yes, like definitely. There's a reason why she makes it to the end.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason why she makes like she trains like it's nobody's business. every single time that she's in one of those challenges, she's like, she's on alert.
Yep.
She's resourceful. She is just, I just loved her. I loved her.
Yeah, me too.
She was a great main character. I loved her.
Yeah, she was a really great main character. Yeah, I really, really appreciated her. Let's talk about the world building of this.
So easy.
It was great.
This was such an easy, it was so easy because like everything, it's really just like a real place.
Yeah.
But people have like
powers.
Powers, and a lot of them are very elemental.
Yeah, it is very elemental. Like,
which I did think that some of the names were a little funny. Like if you were really strong, you were a brawny.
Oh yeah, it was kind of weird. It was kind of weird.
I was like, I think we could have gotten a little more creative with this, but it's okay. It's cool.
Yeah, no, it was pretty like I hate to use the word basic, but it was like not hard to digest or memorize because it was very like to the point what it was.
It was very baseline. Like the world building itself is like you pretty much were just in a city, which I think I was confused about the time of existence this was in.
Oh, I had a hard time figuring it out.
Because there were times where like he was described as wearing like a literal suit. Like a suit.
Yeah, or like a dress shirt.
Yeah, and I was like, what era are we in?
And like the dresses that she wore, I was like, what is that?
But they don't have cell phones.
No.
Like there's no technology, but they're like wearing suits. So I was like, I can't really pinpoint where this is right now, which is fine. You can make up your own rules. Yeah,
no, she made up her own rules with that because I had no idea. I just pictured them in things and then was like, this is just a world that exists. Because they had running water as well.
They did.
Yeah, because she was like, oh, there's running water. And I was like, oh, so there's plumbing. So we're not in full...
So I really, really actually have no idea when this takes place. But
yeah,
there was like... It's funny because I've seen a discourse about that online. You really can't just make your own rules. Like it's fantasy. Like that's kind of the point. But I think the world building was extremely easy to understand. I think that was the only moment where I was like, I can't really pinpoint what time we're in. But I
did like his power, how he could like take other people's powers.
That was cool, and it was a little hot.
Super hot. He'd like suddenly just do things.
I was just like, oh, so you can literally be anything and everybody?
Yeah, right?
Oh.
It's kind of cool.
Like you needed one more thing?
I also like though because of how obsessed he is with her from the like literal second he meets her. That he blows past the fact that he can't sense her power. And he uses, oh, well, she's a psychic and I've never met a psychic. Bro, you've met so many mundanes and you can feel a mundane's power no matter what they have.
Like, being a psychic is like considered lower level, and I'm like, but no one's met one.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't really get that.
And I'm like, how does there's no psychics?
The king and the queen were like, we've never been around a psychic, and I'm like, but they're considered lower level.
Like, is it like, did she make up a thing and no one's calling her out that it's not a real power? Like, does no one contain the ability to be a psychic? And so
I
wondered about that. I was like, how in this kingdom has no one met a psychic, but yet she gets away with just being like, I'm a psychic?
Yeah, and it's just
whereas like everyone else's powers are like titled and very known.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
She gets away with it because she's really good at reading people.
Yeah, she is.
She's like, I can read you.
She is so psych.
Yeah,
she is Sean Spencer.
So if you've never seen Psych, so you remember those FX shows? That
USA.
Oh yes, USA.
Yeah, USA.
How dare I? Those USA shows.
USA deserves their shout out for the Suits, Royal Pains.
Oh my god, fantastic shows. Suits, Royal Pains, Burn Notice,
Psych.
Like the best shows ever that you would watch, like when you got home from school with your dad. That was me. Because that's when they were on.
Sean Spencer's my king. But yeah, she's like Sean Spencer.
She's Sean Spencer. She's just really good at reading people.
Yeah. And does that mean that her best friend is Gus? But instead of a
Adina is Gus.
But instead of a pharmaceutical rep, she makes clothes.
She's a seamstress.
If you've watched Psych, you understand these jokes. 10 out of 10. It's on Amazon Prime.
Oh my god,
just saying.
Freaking watch it.
It's so fucking funny.
But yeah. So I think I think those were kind of the only weird inconsistencies that I was like, oh well, there's one more, but I'll bring it up once we get to the end.
But he also has like a coin pouch on the outside of his hip, and I'm like, what world are we in?
This one, like, it's a very easy world to digest, but there will be moments where you're like,
what do I picture?
Like you're trying to envision it in your head, and it's like a blend of places.
It is a blend. It's a blend.
Which it didn't hinder.
No, I still enjoyed it.
It was still a great time, but yeah, so definitely an easy fantasy romance to jump into.
Yeah, for sure. World-wise, very, very, very easy.
Yeah. So I was just talking about how some like inconsistencies and to lead up to that is the end.
Yeah, let's talk about the end.
Did you see that coming? Like, okay, so the first thing I'm going to ask you if you saw it coming, because at the end there was a lot of things that I was like, did anybody see that coming? Because I didn't. Did you see Adina being in the middle of that freaking thing coming?
No, not in the slightest. I was like, oh, is she going to get saved like Jax? And then she died.
But I even, like, not for a second did I even think that anyone suspected Peyton.
No, I thought she was covering her tracks beautifully.
Yeah, so, like, when I saw the Adina's name, I was like, oh, she's dying.
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
I actually paused my audiobook and was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Did not.
Nuts. Absolutely crazy.
Did not see that coming.
No.
Did not see. So, like, Peyton, obviously, the resistance. Yeah.
Yeah.
The resistance comes in, and Peyton tries to escape, and then, like, the king is waiting for her, and she's like, you don't think I know who the fuck you is?
Yeah, I was like, damn. He was skeptical of her, like, a lot throughout the book, though.
I know, but still, I was like, was he skeptical, or did he just think that his sons could find better pieces of ass?
I thought it was a little bit of both.
I think that he was just a douchebag who was like, this poor girl from Loot.
She ain't marrying one of my sons. He said he was a cowboy in a western.
She don't even have a dowry. She's not worth a cow.
And then he kicks in a saloon door.
Wait. Like back in the day when you like sold your daughter for a goat.
Oh yeah. Wait, you know what that just made me think of? I'm on a stream of consciousness right now. We're gonna go with it. The movie Holes.
Oh my god. Madame Zeroni. You have to carry Madame Zeroni all the way up the hill.
Like when the guy was like, I have this pig. And she's like, I don't want to marry him. I want to marry him. He's like, but he bring big pig.
I'm so happy that you said Holes, because as I literally said, when people sell their daughters for a goat, I thought about Holes. Your stream of consciousness kind of just like bleeds into mine. Or vice versa. I don't know.
That movie is top notch. I remember seeing that shit in movie theaters in junior high. It was one of the first movies I went to by myself with my friends.
I could watch that movie right now.
It's so good.
I love
Shia LaBeouf, Bo.
Stanley Yelnats.
Stanley Yelnats. I'm tired of digging, Grandpa. Well, that's too good. That's too damn bad. Greg and I quote that part all the time.
That's too damn bad.
That's too damn bad.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Well, that's too damn bad.
Oh man. Oh, Henry Winkler's amazing in that too.
Oh, I love Henry Winkler.
I know, he's so good.
He's so good in everything.
So good.
Love him.
Yeah, so the king shows up and he's like, what the fuck? And she murders him. She doesn't murder him, she kills him.
Yeah. But not before he says the craziest thing I've ever heard. When he's like, who do you think killed your father?
Oh my god,
and it turns out that that's literally the first person that Kai ever killed was her dad.
It was his first job. And you're just like, oh,
and
no.
That's why she's like, throughout the book, like in small moments, like it's so crazy because she says things repeatedly.
Yeah, she repeats a lot.
But something that was so subtle was every time she would talk about like how familiar Kai felt. That was so subtle.
That was subtle.
Like, other things were so in your face, but that was
Yeah.
so subtle. Because she was like, he has always felt familiar to me, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
And she always thought it was the king. And it's because he looks like the king. It's his
Yeah.
son.
Yeah.
So her world is, like, crashing down because she's like, I thought I loved this guy. So there's that. And then it's like, it's so crazy, like, the way that they first saw each other. To, like, the way that this book ends with, like, Kai being like, she isn't ordinary. She's the mind to me. She killed my father. And now I have to kill her. But he lets her go.
He does let her go. Which is already like, oh, Boo Boo's already got a weak spot still.
Well, at the end, when so I'm going to say something after this. But at the end, when he's in her house, and he's like, it's a good thing you're not here because I still haven't found my courage yet. And because, like, if she was there, he would have probably just let her go again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're hurting. My
right?
man's is hurting.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, his heart is broken.
Broken.
Like, we talked a lot about Kit before and, like, what that must have felt like for him. But, like, can you imagine?
No, because Kai is actually in love with her.
Oh my god.
Kit
like,
likes
to her core.
Kit loves the idea of her, and, like.
And I imagine that he also was feeling extremely conflicted because he's like, my father's dead. I hated him.
Yeah. I'm a little relieved, but I also feel like I should not be happy with you.
But he's dead.
Yeah.
And the girl that I love killed him. And now I have to go hunt her because my brother wants her found. And it's just like, can you imagine what it must have been like to be him?
Oh no, he has a very complicated ending in this book. I just know it's gonna, like, be fun to, like, watch the, like, journey that we go on with him in the next one.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see, like, what happens next with the two of them. I'm excited to see the way that, because not only does he have to forgive her, she has to forgive him.
Yeah, it's mutual.
And he doesn't know that was her dad.
No.
So this is what I was saying about how I was going to bring this up. Something that does not make sense to me. No sense at all. She's in the basement of her house. Her house where she grew up.
Oh, yes. And
he comes in looking for her, but it doesn't dawn on him where he's walking into.
No, it makes me, I'm curious. I hope that comes up in the next book.
And, like, I know that that's, like, the headquarters for the resistance. Like, I know that, but I'm fairly positive that he was never told who it was he had to kill. I think he was literally just like, this is somebody, you need to kill this person. He was never to lie.
Yeah.
So, like, you're walking to the very first house of the very first person that you ever killed.
Yeah.
And that's not, like, no bells, nothing is striking you as strange about that. And this is where you're looking for her? Like, nothing is...
It's weird. It's weird.
I feel like we'll get more answers about that in the next book, but yeah, so... Man, I love this book.
It was so good. I just had so much fun.
It was a blast. I think it comes out in July. I cannot wait.
The second one, yeah, me too. I loved the angst and the slow burn and the fact that she made us all sit there and wait for nothing to happen. I'm like, Queen, you good. Queen. You know what you're doing. So I'm ready for it. I enjoyed the shit out of this book. Honestly, for me, it was the characters that really drove me. They were so well developed and really fun. My only qualm with you, Lauren girl, is you stop putting the word powerless in this book.
Stop putting the word powerless, and also, please, darling is said way too much.
You can just call her hey. You just can say, hey you.
You can just call her hey.
Call her hey you. He doesn't have to say darling. He can say hey you.
Right before we started recording, I said to Emily, have you ever heard that TikTok sound that's like, darling? Guess he was back from jail.
That's what we hear now.
Now that's what I hear when I read it. Not Kai's beautiful voice, but darling. Guess he was back from jail.
I mean, okay, let's do our ratings. We got our romance rating.
Ooh, I would give it a 5.
Yeah, no, 5 for sure.
I'd give it a 5.
Okay, we're going sexy now.
Okay, but sexy. Okay, when we say sexy, are we talking about like purely physical, or the other things that come along with it?
I think you can define your sexy.
Okay, because 5.
I say I was gonna give it a 3.
Oh, see, but like sexual tension for me, like that is better than sex. Like, maybe not like better, but like the anticipation,
Yeah.
the lead up. So okay, maybe not 5. I give it
Yeah.
a 4. A
Okay,
4.
okay.
A 4.
I'm giving it a 3. All right. Overall rating.
I give this book a 5.
Yeah, I did too. Although I would say like my one qualm would be repetition. And so
Yes.
like I'd be like a 4.9 or a 4.8 just because I'm like, it's a little, there were moments where I was like, okay, we get it. You don't have to say that word again.
I actually don't think that I would let that change. I loved this
No,
book.
I just like he's probably, they're both, as main characters go, some of my favorites.
Yeah, so I was extremely happy with this book. I felt great reading it.
Yeah.
So yeah, a 5
Yeah.
for sure. I'm so excited for the next one.
Yeah.
The novella comes out April 30th. That was about a Dina. If anybody wants to read that one.
Yeah.
It's about a Dina and a boy. And then Reckless comes out in July.
Yeah, so we're ready for Reckless. We'll be ready.
Yes,
I'm so excited. Yeah.
All right.
Well, if you enjoy us,
Oh,
you
yes.
can follow us at Booked Up Babes Pod on TikTok, Booked Up Babes, just Booked Up Babes on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And you can watch our YouTube video, which you might be doing, or you can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, or Amazon.
And if you do listen to us, don't forget to give us a little review
or a rating.
We appreciate all of it, and we love you guys very much for tuning in. So.
Yeah.
All right. Bye. Hello.
That was so aggressive. Hello. You're like the chick from House Bunny. Love her. I'm sorry.
Okay.